about time. What's going on?
Rumor report, rumor report.
This is the Rumor Report
Talk to him.
with Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
Well, Kanye West and Dr. Dre looks like they have plans to release a collaborative project called Jesus is King Part 2. Kanye put up on Instagram, Ye and Dre, Jesus is King Part 2 coming soon. I don't know, though. Dr. Dre, it takes a while for him to do his projects.
Do you think I get excited when I see anybody say they doing anything with Dr. Dre? Like, Dr. Dre is probably the greatest hip-hop producer of all time, one of the greatest producers of all time, period. But Dr. Dre don't be putting out no music. What has Dr. Dre announced recently that actually came out?
He did his
the
Compton, yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't even announce that. That's the crazy part. That just came out.
What else has he done?
We've been waiting on Detox forever.
Yeah, Anderson .Paak.
Anderson .Paak, yeah.
So there you go. All right. Now, Amanda Seales versus Shaun King, and this is all over Rodney Reed. So we've all been seeing the whole Rodney Reed story, and he has the death penalty, or he did, and that right now he has a stay, right, because a lot of people were protesting and feeling like Rodney Reed did not actually rape and murder a woman. And the woman is Stacey Stites that we're speaking of. And so Amanda Seales went on her social media to talk about Rodney Reed activism and why she feels like you have to do your research before you do these hashtags and before you support people.
So when the Rodney Reed case was presented to us, and if you're someone like me, you read the materials that were presented with it and you felt, okay, like none of this seems, awry, you went ahead with the support. So it feels very duplicitous that those who were pushing for this were doing so with the knowledge that this person, Rodney Reed, is not just accused of, but has been linked to previous rapes via his DNA being discovered within the victim.
So Amanda Seales does go on to say that she does regret once backing his exoneration because she's read whatever was presented and didn't realize that there was this whole backstory of other allegations against him, right? Other rapes and situations like that. Now, mind you, he was convicted more than 20 years ago of this particular rape and murder of Stacey Stites, who was 19 years old, by an all-white Texas jury. His DNA was found inside of Stacey Stites. Here's what she had to say.
He has been ID'd by a woman who escaped him. And so you're asking yourselves, well, why wasn't he convicted of those? Well, 3 of those cases did not go to trial because he had already been convicted of capital punishment. I think it is very important to note, though, that this is somebody who, in 2 cases, cited that the reason his semen was found in the body of a person who was raped and killed was because he was having a current relationship with them that, unbeknownst to anybody else, was going on because that person was a white woman and he was a black man.
Yeah, I saw a news report on KVUE, which was detailing Rodney Reed's alleged history of violence against women.
Right, and the reason that he even got identified in the Stacey Stites case was because the following year, he had been arrested and charged with the kidnapping, beating, and attempted rape and murder of another woman named Linda Schluter. And that attack happened about 6 months after Stacey Stites was killed, and there were similarities between these 2 cases. That's why the police started investigating him in this case.
And what were they mad about Amanda? What were they mad about?
Now, Shaun King responded to what Amanda Seales had to say. And he went on his Instagram. He said, on behalf of the family of Rodney Reed, I have to respond here directly to Amanda Seales. We've counted over 20 egregious factual errors in her viral video, but none were more inflammatory and damaging than this one. Here she says that Rodney Reed, who she fails to say was a high school student at the time in Wichita Falls, Texas, raped and killed a woman there. Lies, all lies. I am proud to report that only Amanda, in her rush to get a video out, killed that woman. She is thankfully still alive and well today. She was not murdered by Rodney or anyone else, and a jury voted quickly and unanimously to acquit Rodney on all charges in that case. So many lies in this video. Rodney did not commit the crime, was acquitted, and the woman was never murdered. So this was a previous accusation against him.
Yeah, I mean, Amanda was wrong about Rodney Reed allegedly raping and killing someone in Wichita Falls. In that case, Rodney Reed was just charged with rape. But I think Amanda's overall point about wishing she had all the information on Rodney Reed's history of violence against women is accurate. Like there's nothing wrong with fighting for Rodney Reed, but he has been the alleged suspect in several violent crimes against women. And look, I don't know if he's guilty of these things or not, and he probably is innocent in the murder of Stacey Stiles. But I do know if a lot more people would have known his history prior to the social media push that happened for him, they probably wouldn't have gotten involved with that push.
Now, Shaun King said, do you really think Rodney Reed duped the Innocence Project for the 18 years they've been on this case? Do you think he duped the Conservative Board of Pardons and Paroles and the Texas Criminal Court of Appeals? Be smart, people. They saw the actual evidence. Wake up. And what does matter in this particular case is the evidence in this case. So, they did say that Stacey Stites was engaged and her fiance was actually a suspect as well, a person of interest. And according to other people who are witnesses, they're saying that he was the actual culprit, her former fiance, Jimmy Fennell. So that's what the situation is. Now there's people who are coming forward saying that Jimmy Fennell did admit to it and did not appreciate the fact that Stites was having an affair with Rodney Reed. And that's why he claims that Rodney Reed says his DNA was inside of her because he had been with her the day before. So,
I mean, listen, I think Shaun is missing the overall point. He's talking to the nuance of the Stacey Stites case, which he's right on. But Amanda and a lot of other people are talking about Rodney Reed's overall history of violence against women, because all these women can't be lying, right?
The only thing is, and I will say this, the death penalty is final.
Yes.
And so I've always had an issue with the death penalty. I've never really believed in the death penalty. But especially if there's some type of doubt that someone committed a crime and there's witnesses coming forward and saying the person didn't do it, I don't think that you should implement the death penalty in those cases. At all.
Yeah, I don't really have strong feelings on the death penalty either way. I don't even know if Rodney Reed is guilty of these things or not, like I just said, and he probably is innocent in the murder of Stacey Stites, and if that's the case, then he shouldn't be getting put to death. But I do know if a lot more people would have known about his history of violence towards women prior to the social media push that happened for him, I don't know if they would have gotten involved.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, all of these different women, like, you not believing multiple accusers now? R. Kelly and Bill Cosby sitting around like, word, y'all ain't believing multiple accusers no more? Like,
all right. Well, we'll keep you guys updated on what's going on with that. But as for now, as we're all investigating and doing our own research and coming up with our own conclusions, that's what we have for you. I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.